Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Eric, and today I thought we'd go through doing a service on your push mower and what you should be doing every year with it. So stay tuned. Alright, so we picked this up this morning along with, we got 7 other riders and a weed eater and another push mower out here. But I did start this outside and it did run, so that's half the battle. So as far as doing compression, all that, it started real easy. So we're just looking at doing a basic service on it. You know, if you find that it's hard starting, along those lines, then probably you want to do a compression test. All right, we can do one anyways, just to kind of show you what. Let's do that. I mean, you guys want to learn, right? So let's teach you the right way. You know, this is more for you guys that are trying to do it yourself. And see, that's, so we're going to thread this in. And what I'm looking for is anything above 90. Just turn it in, snug it in hand tight, make sure it's zeroed. Hold down on your brake so that you turn it over. And this is testing 85. I need a new plug. That's a 19. Part of a service that I do every year is I put new plugs in. I mean, even if the plug is starting the machine, I still put one in. It just, each shop you're going to be different, but this is just something that we've learned in the past, that we don't have to dink around with having a spark plug breakdown over the summer. And we could take this, a lot of times this takes 2 people. Where I can see it. So it's got good fire. I mean, it started right up, didn't it? Pretty good, right? Because they will run with this hooked up. And with these, you have to be careful because there's no on and off button. It's all controlled through your brake. Alright, so put in a new plug. I want to do an oil change on this, check the air filter. And this is where, how we find it easiest, I guess is the right word. Is we have old Bessie. She's seen better days, I know. But we simply just take and put her right down into there. And then just start, oh, see it, it's coming right now. And then take a breather, let her go for a little bit. While I was doing that, we can go ahead, check the air cleaner. And this has definitely seen better days. We're going to replace this. Let me see if I've got one in stock. And I do. For you guys that want to know what this is, I buy a lot from Rotary. Rotary's a good company. And this is the air filter 2838 for a Briggs & Stratton. Pop that off. And then with old Bessie, put that right in there. Every so often you gotta go back, give it a couple more. Till you hear it start gurgling. Great terminology, huh? That. Grab my screwdriver. Now, with these, it's nice because they've started using the fuel shut off. And if you're going to let this sit for very long, while it's running, turn the fuel off and let it burn up all the gas that's in the carburetor. And that way, it's not going to get all varnished, gummy, and everything else. And I'm going to start telling people that to go ahead, because everything we've been using it on, it's performed well. Actually, I added some to my Polaris Ranger. We had some extra gas that we took out of a tractor that was iffy, and I decided, well, let's just pour it in the Ranger. That never leaves the farm. Well, then we started having problems with that. I put some of this in it, and now it's starting and running nice. So just take a little bit and dump it in here and just slosh it around. Now, if you're got fresh gas all the time going in it, you may not need it, you know. But this little bottle will treat 512 gallons. You can get smaller ones. And even if you treat like a 5-gallon can that goes in your push mower and your rider, because this is 4-stroke. Ugh. I think it's time to buy a new one. It's still sucking. It's causing a vacuum in there. It's pulling that right out. Alright, so far you've seen new air filter. And why did I go with the new air filter? Because it's got like gas oily smell, very dark. And for what these cost, If it looks like that, replace it. So we put a new plug, new air filter. We're going to put new oil in it once we get it drained. We got this one through Stens, but a lot of companies out there make it. I saw one where the guy was using actually a drill head with a pump on it. But this one here, you give it a few pumps to get it to build up. You just wait for it to start gurgling. Go find something else to do for a few minutes. This is a good time to look visually over, like, how are the cables? Follow the cable down through. Make sure there's no wear on it. Nothing's busted. Everything works as it should. Does this cable work as it should? You know, is it free? You know, look for breaks. I've seen these crack and then give a customer problems down the road because they just get to reefing on it. And this here is self-propelled, so you kind of look at the wheels and see what kind of condition they're in. I don't touch the height because most times the customer will set it where they want it, and then they'll get upset if you set it a different direction. So other than that, the only thing that we're going to do to this is, I already checked the blade, but we're going to scrape underneath the mower and try to clean out all that debris that's built up underneath there. Always, always, always safety first. When you get ready to start working underneath there, take your spark plug wire off and make sure that it's out of the way. You know, they say it can't start because that certain way and this and that, but it's always that thing that it couldn't happen happens, right? And the last thing you want is for this to somehow start when you get your hands down there with the blades and everything. So when you get ready to do that, just unplug the spark plug. Doesn't take just a second. There it goes. See, she's built vacuum in there. Now, we run just standard 10W30, but synthetic. The synthetic is going to cost you a little bit more money up front, but I think in the long term, you know, it's better for your engine. Sometimes you get a good read and you got to give it a minute because the oil is still all the way around, and when you push it in, it goes everywhere on this stick. Saying it's about halfway in between the add and the full where it should be. We'll give it just a little bit more. They don't take a lot. Alright, and then just use a standard putty knife. You can get the smaller ones. This one's got kind of an edge on it. Again, pull your plug, tuck it in where it can't get anywhere near that spark plug. And then we're going to want to physically tip this up. The biggest thing I tell you is keep your workspace as clean as possible. That means try to pick up as you go. And that's what we're going to do. Don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need that, or that. Well, what you want to do is you want to get all of this stuff out. And while you're down here is a good time to inspect your blade. Okay, that don't look too bad. Seen a lot worse than that. While we're right here, you can check the blades to see if they're in rough shape, and these aren't that bad. Just not that old of a mower. And see, that's all she wrote, guys.